Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a news cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. But the Buhari administration, which removed workers of the National Assembly from the contributory pension scheme, they are currently seeking a return to the scheme. The National Assembly Service Pensions Board Establishment Act, enacted in April of 2023, created a separate pension board for the National Assembly personnel, effectively removing them from the CPS under the Pension Reform Act 2014. A member of the House of Representatives, Iduma Igariwe, has called for the cancellation of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, citing what he described as, quotes, a catastrophic institutional failure, unquote, by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. Igariwe, who leads the Southeast Caucus in the House, made the call during an interview where he faulted the entire process of conducting the exercise. In the meantime, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced plans to conduct a special mop-up examination for candidates who had missed the recently concluded 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. The board's registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, disclosed this in Abuja during a meeting with key stakeholders to address challenges encountered during the exercise. Our correspondent, Kikalamo Okere, has more.
JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede explained that the mop-up would accommodate the estimated 5.6% of the candidates who miss their exams for any reason. According to him, even those who miss the earlier exam due to absence will be given this opportunity. He stated that it's not extraordinary, it's standard practice in education to make up for missed exams, provided it's not abused.
We had also taken decision immediately that all those who miss that examination for whatever reason, the 5-point-something% that or 6% that miss the examination, we will, during mop-up, you know, we normally do annual mop-up throughout the country for those for one reason or the other. So we will package them with the mop-up. And it is for that reason we have also decided that even those who missed the earlier initial exam, who are absent, we will extend this opportunity to them to also receive.
Oloyede also addressed the emotional strain experienced during the announcement of the UTME result, clarifying that it was not a sign of weakness but a reflection of responsibility. He condemned attempts to politicize the incident, dismissing conspiracy theories and ethnic profiling. He criticized public commentators for misrepresenting the purpose of UTME, noting that it is a placement test, not an achievement test. Oloyede stressed that high UTME scores alone do not guarantee admission, as other criteria like post-UTME and institutional assessment are also considered.
I must thank WAEC sincerely, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, NECO, ABU, and others who rallied around to make it possible. You know, like I said, WAEC has had agric science. We quickly had to move in, see how we can reschedule in a way that's what minimized the issue of clash, because we had to work together immediately throughout the night.
The registrar thanked stakeholders for their support during the exam period and commended candidates for their resilience in the face of the challenges. Kikelamo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kikelamo. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has called on administrators of public universities in Nigeria to explore ways of expanding their global reach and attracting international students. He made this suggestion while delivering a keynote address at the maiden edition of the Osun State University annual lecture in Osogbo, the state capital, titled Interrogating Funding of Education, Global versus Nigerian Perspectives. The Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, urged public universities to broaden their international outlook and adopt global best practices. He emphasized that institutions can generate revenue and improve their competitiveness by attracting international students willing to pay fees that may be politically or economically sensitive for domestic students.
I'll just give you 3 management companies: Stanford, Harvard, California. They are investment companies fully owned, wholly owned by those universities for investments. Why can't our universities invest and make money? Universities operating commercial businesses to generate income to support their core educational mandate is not a new development. Now, public universities in Nigeria can and should also look to increase their international profiles to become attractive destinations for international students.
The event also had in attendance the governor of Osun State, who reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting quality education and creating an enabling environment for academic excellence.
The university is one of the enduring legacies that have continued to make us proud. The university has become a model for other universities to emulate.
Earlier, the Vice-Chancellor of the university explained that the lecture series was conceived as a platform to inspire conversations that will shape regional and national development through education reforms and policy implementation.
Somebody somewhere must pay for teaching and learning to generate knowledge. Therefore, there is no free kick anywhere. This is the reason that I appreciate the federal government for NELFund. I am sure NELFund is making a huge difference in the lives of our students today. The same kudos I give to the federal government on the institution of TED Fund, which is an institution that must not die.
Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global TV News. The Southeast Caucus of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has appealed to the party's National Working Committee and other stakeholders to retain its nominee for the position of National Secretary. Speaking at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja, Senate Minority Whip Senator Osita Ungu announced the region's unanimous decision to nominate former National Youth Leader Sunday Ude Okoye for the role. Political correspondent Godwin Sunday has details.
The party has been grappling with internal divisions since the 2023 elections. Tensions rose further in December 2024 after the Southeast Zonal Caucus and a lower court backed Ude Okoye's nomination. While the PDP Governors, Board of Trustees and the National Working Committee accepted the decision, Senator Samuel Anyanwu took the matter to the Supreme Court. But on March the 21st, the court dismissed its challenge, ruling that internal party matters are not for the courts to decide. Senator Ungu called on the party leadership to consider the Southeast request, citing similar precedents. He emphasized that the caucus is not issuing demands but making a respectful appeal aimed at fostering unity and growth within the party.
To look at a zone who has been the bedrock and backbone of the PDP, a zone who has delivered all their National Assembly members, all governors to the PDP in the past, who is eager to redeem his past glory. We are praying that the request of this zone should not be jettisoned. Let us look at it based on the point of its merits. Let it be a stepping stone in our urge and our drive to reposition our party.
In his response, the acting national chairman, Umar Damagu, represented by the Deputy National Chairman South, Taufik Arapaja, assured that the National Working Committee will operate strictly in accordance with the party's constitution.
Decide on the way forward, and that decision will be forwarded to the NEC, which, so no problem. We will look at it. We will do justice. We will do our best.
He further stated that after deliberations with National Working Committee members, the resolutions reached will be presented to the National Executive Committee (NEC) at their upcoming meeting. Godwin Sunday for Global Television News.
Amid rising concerns over recent defections, the People's Democratic Party Senate caucus has affirmed that the party remains united and steadfast. At a press conference after plenary, Senate Minority Leader Abba Moro, together with other PDP lawmakers, emphasized that the party continues to be the strongest opposition force in the country. Queen Agaba has more for us.
PDP senators gathered at the Senate Press Center to reassure Nigerians that despite recent challenges and the defection of some members to the All Progressives Congress (APC), the party remains solid and cohesive. Senator Moro, the caucus leader, expressed confidence in the reconciliation efforts led by former Senate President Bukola Saraki. He assured that the committee tasked with addressing internal grievances would work diligently to restore unity within the party. He urged all PDP members to stay committed, underscoring that despite its difficulties, the PDP remains the party to beat.
Contrary to the insinuations that the PDP is in shreds and at the verge of collapse, the party remains very, very strong and will continue to work stronger. The Senate caucus of the PDP, therefore, urges all our team members to remain resolute in their commitment, dedication, and loyalty to the party. The caucus believes that a series of activities lined up by the leadership of the party will throw up a new lease of life and leadership in the party that will make it very competitive in future elections.
Additionally, Senator Moro noted that the PDP is capable of forming coalitions when necessary to strengthen its political positions.
Of all the opposition parties, the PDP's umbrella is big enough to accommodate all persons desirous of coalition. The People's Democratic Party, therefore, should drive the coalition when and if it becomes necessary.
To date, 3 lawmakers from Kebbi State and 1 from Delta North have defected from the PDP to APC, alongside other defections from various political parties. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
In a bid to revive and boost the production of locally made textile materials, the House of Representatives has resolved to urge the federal government to regulate the importation of foreign textiles into the country. Ogochukwu Mobuno completes the story.
The House of Representatives also called on the Federal Ministry of Power to collaborate with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments to provide essential infrastructure, particularly stable power supply, to local textile manufacturing companies to enhance productivity quality. Additionally, the House has urged the Federal Ministries of Finance, Industry, Trade and Investment alongside other relevant agencies to support the local textile industry by providing soft loans and improving access to credit facilities through the Bank of Industry. These resolutions followed the adoption of a motion moved by Honorable Garba Mohammed during plenary.
Concerned over the significant decline in the textile industry over the last 2 decades, resulting in the layoff of thousands of workers from companies like Kaduna Textile, Kano Textile, Aba Textile, United Nigeria Textile, Fast Spinners, among others. Also concerned that the discovery of oil in Nigeria resulted in decreased cotton production, a crucial raw material for the textile industry, thereby significantly impacting the textile sector.
In a related development, the House of Representatives also urged the federal government through the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to conduct a post-disaster assessment of Jedo, Ubokodo, and Ogoton communities in Delta State, which were recently affected by a severe rainstorm and windstorm. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Honorable Benedict Etena Bene, representing Delta State during Tuesday plenary.
Curious that the residents of these affected communities are in dire need of aids to cushion the effect of the disaster that befalls them. Believe that if urgent steps are not taken to come to the aid of these people, of the affected communities as their means of livelihood were gone, coupled with this critical time of the impact of the nation's economy, it will spell doom on the people.
Ogochukwu Mobno reporting for Global Television News.
Wife of Zamfara State Governor Uri Lawal has appealed to the governor to approve 6 months of paid maternity leave for all working mothers in both the public and private sectors. She made the appeal during a courtesy visit to the governor at the government house in Gusau, the state capital. Kabir Hassan has the details.
This is an advocacy visit to the office of the Zamfara State Governor by the State First Lady, Huraya Lawal, and other stakeholders. She says granting 6 months of paid maternity leave is not just a policy, but a gesture of love and vital investment in collective future of children. The wife of the governor noted that the 6 months maternity leave policy is to improve employee retention, increase morale, and healthier babies.
This isn't just a policy. It's a labor of love for our women, our children, and our future. The early months of a child's life are sacred, filled with precious bonding, life-giving breastfeeding, and the vital healing of both mother and baby.
The UNICEF representative, Kulu Sanda, emphasizes that advocating for 6 months of paid maternity leave for nursing mothers aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, and the United Nations standards, which promotes the well-being of mother and child.
UNICEF also aligns with this policy of advocating mothers to have time enough to breastfeed her child, time enough to take the child for routine immunization.
Governor Dauda Lawal commended the First Lady for her advocacy and assured that the request will be thoroughly deliberated with the members of the State Executive Council. He affirmed his administration commitment to supporting policies that directly benefit citizens.
You know, what is working well. So myself and my colleagues here will look into your request and we'll dissect it, digest it, and then come up with a framework on how it is going to be. Whether it is going to be the 6 months, whether it is going to be less, but it's something that we will look into, and I can assure you we'll come back to you within the shortest possible.
The governor also expressed appreciation to the delegation and development partners, including UNICEF, for their continued support and collaboration with the state government. Hassan Kabir reporting for Global TV.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, Aruna storms into last 16 at World ITTF Championships. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports for you. The second part of this news broadcast now returns with the foreign scene, where the federal government has lauded Cameroon's commitment and collaboration in fostering stability in West Africa amidst complex security threats by Boko Haram and other armed groups on the occasion of its 53rd independence anniversary. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Chuga, stated this as Cameroon celebrates this significant milestone, saying Nigeria affirms its dedication to deepening the existing bonds of friendship and cooperation between both nations. Away from Africa now, United States President Donald Trump says the U.S. has selected a design for the futuristic Golden Dome missile defense system. Days after returning to the White House in January, Trump unveiled his intentions for the system aimed at countering next-generation aerial threats to the U.S., including ballistic and cruise missiles. The United Nations says its teams in Gaza have not yet been able to distribute aid despite dozens of supply trucks entering the territory over the past 2 days. Israeli officials say 93 trucks had entered Gaza on Tuesday, carrying aid including flour, baby food, medical equipment, and pharmaceutical items. The UN stated that despite trucks reaching the Palestinian side of the Kerem Shalom crossing, no aid has yet been distributed so far. And in sports, Rangers International go head-to-head with Kwara United in a high-stakes encounter in the semi-finals of the 2025 President Federation Cup today at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. The match pits two Nigeria Premier Football League sides against each other, with a place in the final of the country's oldest football competition up for grabs. Both teams come into the fixture on the back of hard-earned victories. In the quarterfinals, Rangers narrowly edged Plateau United 1-0 in Abuja, while Kwara United saw off Akwa United. Flying Eagles captain Daniel Bameyi is optimistic the team will put up a better showing at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. Aliyu Zubeiru's side finished third at the just concluded 2025 Africa Under-20 World Cup Nations in Egypt. The West Africans lost 1-0 to eventual champions Amajita of South Africa in the semi-final before overcoming host Egypt 4-1 on penalties in the third-place match. Tottenham fans have gathered in Bilbao ahead of a clash between their team and Manchester United in the Europa League. Surprise wing wizard Harry Maguire said he hopes he can stay in his defensive comfort zone for Manchester United in the Europa League final against Tottenham, despite his attacking cameos earlier in the competition. Let's go to tennis now. Quadri Aruna has reinforced his reputation as one of table tennis's elites with a sensational 4-2 win over Germany's Benedikt Duda to reach the round of 16 of the 2025 ITTF World Championships in Doha, Qatar. The victory sealed at the Lusail Hall ensures he is the last African standing in the men's singles following the exit of Egypt's Omar Hassar in second round. Despite entering the tie with a 1-2 hard head-to-head record against the left-handed Duda, Aruna delivered a composed and strategic performance. And that's a full cycle here on the news. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using a Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, appreciating you for watching. Bye-bye.